Yeah, let me share my screen. Please let me know once you are able to see it.
Yes, we can see the same.
Okay, great. So any questions so far, whatever we discussed?
No.
Okay, great. So we have covered to, I guess, this we were discussing yesterday, right? Customizing TR and Workbench TR, right?
Yes.
So customizing TR, as I said, transport request or transfer request sometimes. So generally we call it TR only, so it's transport request. So customizing TR is something that I said a functional consultant will be using, like me, I mean, like VSD consultant or PP consultant or MM consultant. Whatever changes we do, that changes are being stored in customizing the transfer request. Okay, and whatever changes the development do, development technician or technical team do, that is stored in the workbench TR. There are some config which we will be doing as a consultant, but that will be stored in the workbench TR. Okay, it's not always 100% of the our changes goes and sits in the customizing. Okay, there are few exceptions that we will discuss once we will see. So that time I will tell you. But as a thumb rule, 95% of our configuration goes and sits in the customizing TR. And what is the primary difference? As I said last class also, that even let's say in one server in development server, let's say you have two clients, right? 100 and 200. Then whatever changes we do, that changes, let's say I am doing changes any in the 100 client, right? In the development system, development server, 100 client. So that changes will not, I mean, those changes will not automatically appear in the 2000. You need to copy it. Okay, it's you assume it's in the two different systems, then you copy it, right? Like you copy movies and files, those stuff, right? So there is a T code, and then you copy your TR number from client 100 to 200. Then only those changes will appear. But whatever is stored in the workbench, as I said, most of the technical team work and our 5% of the work that is stored in the workbench, that doesn't need copy from client to client. If you are doing a dev server, irrespective of the client number, it will flow to all the client. Okay, if I'm doing in the quality system, irrespective of the client, 100, 200, 400, how many client is it, that's no, that's not to worry. It will flow to all the client. Okay, you're doing at a server level. Basically, you can assume it. Okay, you can assume it like this, that workbench works at a development server level, and our customizing TR scope is only client level. You can copy, but automatically it will not go. You have to copy manually. Okay, clear? What is the customizing? What is this one? Workbench TR.
Yes.
Okay,
Yes. Yes.
let me give you a brief idea of this one as well. See, there are two types of, generally these nobody asks in interview, but just for the sake of information, let's discuss this. See, let's say I'm creating a sales order document type, okay, ZOR9 or something, anything I'm creating. So that configuration is purely SD part only, right? Sales and distribution module part only. We don't need any other module involvement there. There is no integration between required for that creation of document type. We only can create it. So those kind of configuration we call it a baseline configuration. That is only, that can only be done within the same module only. We don't need any other module for that. So that kind of configuration we call it baseline configuration. And final configuration is something, as you know, when you create a sales order, then you create delivery, then the logistic teams also gets involved, then you create the invoice. Okay, even delivery also, your how do you call, availability and stock, the BP team, MM team also gets involved. Then you do the PGI, the stocks gets deducted and all those stuff. Then you create invoice, then time the finance team also gets involved, right? To create a complete cycle from order to cash, that is from order, delivery, invoice, you need different modules also to be involved, right? So those kind of configuration you can tell it as a final configuration. Okay, if someone asks you what is baseline, what is final, so just answer this much only. This is enough. Okay. Now, Transport production system. Yeah, see, this is how the TR gets copied. Actually, it's just a graphical representation. Actually, the transport request we will be doing in the development system. As I said, whatever changes we do in the development, then the transport number we need to import. When I say we, means you will not import. You will give your TR number to basis team. They will import it basically. Even you can also do, but you will not have the access when you are working in any company. You will not have that access to uh, copy or to move the transport. So that is part of your technical team basically, basis team. So they will move your TR from development to quality, and then from quality to production. That movement will be done by them only. Okay, we don't do it. Then this we already covered. Yeah, now these all are few basics, what do you call, terminology that we will be using actually going forward. So that's why these all small description is given actually. So we are going through all those things. Now let's say, as I said, when you do some test changes in development, you do at initial, I mean, you do initial level of testing at the development system also, right? Means the we development team do, because see, we are also part of development team only. Though when you talk technically, then we are say, we are consultants. Those are functional, those are technical people or the development team who do the web coding and all. But as a, you think as a complete system, as a user and everyone, then we are also kind of developer only, right? We are also developing, we are also doing configurations. You do configuration, then you do testing. So there are a lot of different type of testing is there. Okay. So first is unit testing, integration testing. So unit testing and integration testing, you can think of this only. Any testing which requires only one module, that testing, similarly we have baseline configuration, right? So that testing you can call it unit testing. Let's go there. Yeah. See, it's only specific to one module. Let's say I'm creating a sales order. I just want to create sales order. That's it. I'm not bothered about the pricing. I'm not bothered about the availability, whether the stock is confirmed or not. I'm not bothered. I just want to see whether my document type is getting created or not. I go to VA01, I put my order type, and I see whether my order type is getting created or not. So that testing I can do alone, right? And SD consultant is enough. They don't need any other module. So that kind of testing we call it unit testing. Integration testing, when you do from end to end, okay, like from order to invoice, or let's say yesterday I given you example of load testing a load machine, right? When a truck enters your company, you load it first, right? Then whether that how much is the load of that empty truck, and after loading what is the load of that truck, right? Those all testing. I mean those all things. Let's assume uh, that loading software as a some, let's say, some XYZ software, okay. So first, and this is your SAP, let's assume, okay, this is your SAP box. So this is not this testing, this unit testing and integration testing. It's not only limited to SAP actually. It's very generic terminology actually. Okay, now think when the company install this XYZ software to load the truck. So first they will test it right in the XYZ software itself, whether all those kg or ton is coming properly or not. Right? They will not bother about the SAP first. First they will see whether my software is working perfectly or not. If I put 10 kg of load, whether my XYZ software also displays 10 ton only. That kind of testing also is required. Right? That company who is providing this XYZ software or XYZ hardware or whatever the tool they are using, the system, they will also do some initial testing from their end also, right? So that's the unit testing basically. It's only limited to one system, one module. But now when the system is ready, they will say, okay, now my system is ready. My system can, what do you call, wait the trucks and all. Then you will start sending the data, or you will try to integrate with SAP. So that is, you see, when you try to integrate with it with SAP, that means you, when you are doing that testing, that we call it integration testing. I mean, different systems are involved in that one. In SAP, we call it when you involve different modules. Like as I said, when you create order, that's fine. It's not only up to you. But when you go for availability check and all, that time your production team, okay, there are stock management team, that's the MM team or purchasing team. Those also comes into picture, right? Whether stock is there or not. If stock is not there, that goods to be produced or not. Whether third party will deliver or we only will produce it. How that goods will come. So then you need involvement of other modules also. Those kind of testing we call it integration testing, where you need other modules also. Okay, thumb rule. Unit testing only one module. Integration testing, well, there is a dependency on other modules also. Clear? Any questions so far?
No, no.
Okay, great. Okay, now these all are basic generic information actually, what to test, how to test, what is the expected behavior, what is actually is coming, okay, whether the test is fail or passed, okay, all those things we gather some evidence also, right? Any testing, any software testing you do, you collect some evidence also, right? So those things, the very generic stuff, so don't bother about all those things. User manual, as it's very simple. When you see, we as a consultant are very familiar with all this T code and all, how to create VA01, how to go to VL01 and all those things. But end user may not be that what do you call comfortable with the new ERP system, right? New SAP. Let's say they are using some other legacy system. So it's very difficult for them because they also need to perform their day-to-day activity, and apart from that, they need to learn SAP, right? It's our job, so we are comfortable with SAP, right? But for them, SAP is an additional work to them actually, right? Because that's not their primary job to use SAP. Their primary job is to produce. Their primary job is to sell. Their primary job is to see from where they can buy the goods on the cheapest price, right? That's what their job is. So their most of the time is consumed in their daily day-to-day job only. Okay. So what we need to do, we prepare some user manual or SOP, that is standard operating procedure. This is also a very common term actually. It's not only specific to SAP. SOP, that is standard operating procedure. So you tell them, boss, log in to, you go to the GUI, okay. Then you click on this icon. You all this you document actually. You click, okay, you click here. You take a screenshot of this one, you point out something, okay, you need to click here, then this window will come, then you put your ID here, okay, all those things. You basically you are giving a user manual to the user, how you are going to use it, okay. So those also sometimes we need to prepare, okay. And also whenever you are doing any changes, let's say you are creating any document type or any condition type, any pricing procedure, any item category, that also needs to be captured, right? So whatever you are doing, you will not remember after some time. So that also we capture somewhere. So that document we call it CD. Sometimes in short we call it CD. That's the configuration document actually. Okay. Now configuration is something that we only will be doing. Now let's say, as I said earlier class, when the requirement or the business process, what business is doing, is not available in SAP, then you go to development, right? You go to a web team and you need some other developer to develop that software, so that, or develop that screen or that kind of functionality to handle that business process. So that kind of documentation, that also requires some documentation, right? What we need from developer, you will tell developer, boss, develop like this, put this coding, check this value, check that value. So all those information we capture in FS, that is the functional specification document. Okay, this is being prepared by us, we functional consultant prepare this FS. Okay, there is another document, TS, technical specification. Who will prepare this TS? Any idea? Technical team. There is a technical team, right? Let's say a developer also, when they are, you are giving some requirement to the developer or a developer, they will also prepare something, right? They will also document it, what they are doing. So that document we call it TS. Okay, but we don't prepare, we prepare FS. Okay, and yeah, project preparation is done, business blueprint is done. Realization is something when you do the actual configuration in the SAP. Okay, you start creating document type, you start creating condition types, all those configuration you started in the realization phase. Then comes your final preparation. So in final preparation, as I said, once the development is done in the realization phase, you do the initial level of testing, then you move the changes to the quality system, and then you ask the end user or the business team to test it. So then you will do some unit testing, some integration testing, some user training you will give to them, not only documentation, because when you are going or implementing SAP, so that time we also need to give some sort of user training. You will conduct some seminars, some classes you will conduct, and then you will show them how to create all those things. Okay, how you can check the credit limit, how to create material, how to create customer. So some sort of training also we give in that one, in the final preparation to users. Then cut over strategy. Okay, this is also an important term actually. Cut over. Let's say they are using some old software. Okay, and now they have decided to move to SAP. So now there will be some day, right? Some specific day, business will decide, or business, not only business alone decide. Business will discuss with the team who is implementing the SAP with them, and then they agree on some certain date. Okay, let's say, as I said, let's say 27th of June of 2027, we will stop using our legacy system, and on that day onwards we will be using everything in an SAP, right? That day will come eventually at one day. That's what you're implementing, right? So that day we call it cutover or go live date actually. That is the go live date actually. But what is cutover then? Whatever data you have in your legacy system, right? That you will copy it from legacy to S4 HANA or into the SAP. Let's say you have 100 or 1000 of customer in the legacy, right? So now in SAP you don't want to create those 1000 customer again. So there are some sort of tool, some sort of migration activity that you will do in the cutover phase. So cutover means you are cutting that old software and then you are planning to move to the next software, that is SAP ERP, right? That cutover phase will be, let's say, 10 days, 15 days, something will be there. Okay. So during that day, you migrate all your data, you stop the business, because not now you don't use the legacy. Just wait for 2, 3, 4 days, whatever that cutover period will be there. You will prepare, because see, there are few data that you can migrate before also, right? Let's say customer master. You don't have to wait for cutover activity, cutover date. You can migrate it initially. Let them use the legacy. That's not a problem. You copy the data from the legacy and then you start uploading in the SAP. That's it. That's why you can parallelly do. But think of an open order. Let's say there are 10 customer. Let's say we have decided, let's take a date actually. Let's say they have planned of 30 of April they will go live. Okay. Now assume, let's say it's 29. Now there will be few orders that would have come on 27. There will be few sales order or customer order that would have come on 28. Now it is not delivered yet, right? Let's say the customer who came on 28th, he has asked for the delivery on 5th of May. Now if you completely cut off your old software on 30th, how this data will come to SAP, that okay, there is a customer who placed the order on 28th, he is expecting the order to be delivered on 5th. Clear? You're getting my point? Hello?
Yes, yes, sir,
Okay.
please.
So there are some dynamic data that you need to copy to SAP also. If you don't copy, what will happen? Nobody will know in SAP that there is an order lying in the old system with the 28 which is not completed yet. So these data you cannot migrate before, right? You cannot migrate this order which is coming on 28th on 1st of April, right? Because that time the order itself is not came. So then there are few open documents or open data, open sales order, open delivery. Okay, from the SD perspective, I'm telling you, there are other system also, as I said, purchase order, planned order, production order from different modules. So all those modules, copy those data, and then they shift it to SAP during the cutover phase only. Okay, this data you cannot migrate before, because who knows? Let's say there is an order. Let's assume there is an order on first. Okay, and this person has asked the delivery on 15th. So on 15th, that delivery is already done, and you are migrating or you are planning to move to SAP on 30th. And there is no need to copy this data, right? Because this is already delivered. The customer placed an order on 1st of April. On 15th of April, it is already delivered. Then why you need to copy that data? That's not a bother. That is not something that you need to bother, right? You need to only bother which is not delivered, which is still open. So that all data we copy or migrate to SAP during the cutover phase. And then when users are testing, then they are okay, they give some green signal, okay, I'm okay with the process, I understand now SAP how it works and everything. Then you take some sign off, okay, just sign off the document, okay, maybe it could be hard copy or it could be over mail, and then you go to your go live. As either in our case, let's say on 30th of April we are going go live. So then on 30th we will see, okay, today is my go live. So this was the ASAP methodology actually. Okay, I said UAT sign off. UAT is user acceptance testing. Okay, as I said initially, we discussed two types of testing, right? Unit and integration. Now that's another way of defining or classifying the testing. Now there are other type of testing also. Let's say we do a testings. as a functional consultant. That we call it FUT, that is functional unit testing. Okay, then there will be SIT, system integration testing. Then there will be UAT, user acceptance testing. Okay, then there will be some regression testing. Then there will be some load testing, load test also, right? Let's say whether your system, when you are going live, then maybe there are thousands of order coming daily. People, there is a very huge business, okay, and these people are placing thousands of order daily. So now that also you need to see that whether your SAP software is able to handle that load or not, right? So that those all testing we do. So those are different type of testing, but few you need to remember at least: unit testing, integration testing. What is FUT? What functional consultant is, that we call it FUT. Integration, there will be TUT as well. Like I said, when we prepare FS, similarly technical team prepare their TS, technical specification. So similarly, we do the FUT, functional unit testing. The technical team will also do their TUT, technical unit testing. Okay, so all these all are different testing. We just need to know. Now, yeah, as I said, when you are migrating, there will be a few sort of master, custom, what do you call, master data that you need to migrate from your legacy to SAP. So it could be customer, it could be material, it could be pricing. Okay, so these all type of data you can migrate. There are different tools also. We can use board system. Okay, and there are different tools. It's up to business how they want to use, which is costlier, which is cost efficient, and which is most easy. Okay, so there are a lot of other factors also. What is the amount of data that they need to copy? Let's say there are 10 customers only, right? So then there is no use of why you will go for some other software. 10 customer anyway you can create directly in SAP, right? It will take hardly 10 minutes, 15 minutes. So that kind of data we don't use that tool to migrate. You can directly create an SAP. But let's say there are thousands of customers. So then you will not create thousands of customer manually in SAP. So you will migrate those data. Okay, that's another what do you call, another big process actually, migration, because it's not easy that okay from the legacy you will copy and in SAP you will paste it. It's not that easy because legacy will have their own term, they will have their own field, and SAP is working on a completely different manner, right? But the data will be same only: the customer, the address, okay, the email address, what is the customer priority, okay, whether the customer is a government customer or a individual customer or a business. So all those data are anyway same only, but the fields will be different. How legacy denotes, how legacy stores those data, and how SAP stores that data, that will be different. So we do some sort of mapping and all sort of what you call transformation. Then only you migrate. It's not that easy. Okay, simply copy and paste. No, it's not that easy. Okay. So all those we do in your migration project actually, or migration. Okay, that's a big thing actually. So let's not discuss that much. But as of just understanding, in Cutover we copy all those things. Open order, you see, like open transactional data. As I given you example of open order. Order is created, but delivery is expected after go live. So those data also you need to capture into SAP so that SAP also considers those orders to be delivered to the customer. Okay. Yeah, as I said, cutover period. You cannot, let's say there are thousands of sales order, right? And not only from the SAP, there will be, as I said, purchase order, planned order, production order, maintenance order, right? So all those data copying from legacy to S4, it will take some time. It's not easy that okay, you will just copy paste. So generally the cutover period of 2 days or 3 days. So in these 2 3 days, we consultant do a lot of work actually because we have only these 2 days because business cannot stop their business, right? So generally what in cutover period happens actually, they will keep on selling the goods, they will keep on producing the goods, but they will note it down in some paper or in some Excel for these 2 days. And once the system is ready, they will punch the data in SAP. Now you think from that perspective, the more time you take in the cutover, it's more hectic job for them to enter that data from Excel to SAP. So generally this cutover period is very limited, 1 day, 2 days only, and we have to complete our activity in those cutover period itself. Okay, and yeah, now go live and support. This is the last phase of your SAP methodology. When you, well, I said, let's say on 30th you have planned for go live. On 30th you have went go live. Okay, now you are not using the old system. Everybody is using the new system. When any new system works, right, there will be a lot of bugs, a lot of issues coming, right? Users will not be knowing where to log in, which T code, where I can click, where I can find material, where I can find customer, why my pricing are not coming. So initially there will be a lot of hiccups, right? Anywhere, not only in SAP, anywhere. If you implement a big software and you start using them, there will be a small lot of issues will be coming. So that all support we provide during the go live or hypercare support in the go live support phase actually. So generally what happens, whichever team has implemented SAP, right? Let's say we are working as a functional consultant, we have done the SD part. So now we support for let's say 2-3 months. That we call the hypercare support. Okay, that is being decided from the business and the implementation team, the project manager and everyone decides. Uh, okay, these all people decide based on the requirement and based on the business volume how much time they need this hypercare support. But we cannot give for lifelong. We cannot give support. There will be some definitely some support team will be there. We will be giving support for let's say 1 month, 2 months, and then we will be closing our activity from that project, and then we will move to some other project. Then there will be some AMS team that we call it annual maintenance service out of team or support team we call it. Then they will take care of that because I said initially phase only 1 or 2 months or 3 months, most of the problem will be caught, right? After that somehow system also smooth. System also runs smoothly. Users are also comfortable now. Also, though I mean now also know they also know that okay where I can find this one. How can I solve this small problems? So now system smooth actually. So those all things happen in the go live phase. Okay. So this was the SAP actually. Now as I said, now think SAP methodology. As I said, there are 5 phases, right? These are 5 phases, right? Now think of a scenario. The whole process will take how much time approximately? From 1 to 5, how much time it will take approximately?
Eight, 18 months.
Yeah, 18 months. Now think of a scenario, Karishma, something, let's say you discussed wrong in the project preparation, or let's say in the requirement gathering in the blueprint, when you were collecting the requirement from business, something is missed out or something miscommunication happened. Let's say business told you something, you understood something else. Now when this problem will be caught, it will be caught only in the go live, right?
Go live. Go live.
Now it's very difficult to correct the data because it's already 18 months or 12 or 16 months passed already. So that's the big disadvantage of this SAP methodology. If anything goes wrong, you don't have time to correct it. Okay, this was the biggest disadvantage in the SAP. So that's why now SAP recommends to go for agile methodologies. What is agile methodology? Now this all concept is gone. What we do, we sit with the business, we collect the information, that's it. We don't prepare this business blueprint, there is no project preparation, nothing. I mean, the project preparation anyway it will be there because when you are implementing, definitely some initial level of discussion will happen, right? Which will be the project team, who will be the core user, okay, all those things will happen. But we don't take this much time. What we do some small config, let's say 2 months or 3 months of period or 2 months of period, we do something, we develop something, then at the end of 2 months we show it to business. Was the This is how I have configured. Okay, and not only for 2 months, let's say there are 2 month period we decided, right? Then we further divide that 2 month period into some weeks. Okay, that we call iteration. First iteration, second iteration. Okay, then that 2 week period we call it iteration actually, or a sprint. Then further we divide that 2 month period into weeks actually, 2 weeks or 2 weeks. Then at the end of 2 week we will work for 2 weeks. Then at the end of second week we will show something whatever we have developed to the business. Okay, boss, this is what we have developed, please see whether it is fulfilling your requirement or not, whether you are okay or not. So now the advantage is using or going with the agile methodology is if anything is wrong, user will immediately tell you, right? No, this is not correct, I want this one, I told you this much but you have done something wrong, I was not saying this one, you understood something wrong, correct? Now you can easily identify that problem within 2 months or 2 weeks period only. So now you will say okay, understood, so you were saying like that, okay, let me correct it. So now how much time we have wasted? Only 2 months, I mean 2 weeks only. Not only wasted also, because anyway you have developed something, you just need to correct that particular thing which user not the user not okay with, right? So now you will do a lot of correction. So there, how it is working, the business, the consultant, everybody is working closely actually. So there is a less chance of miscommunication that could happen during the SAP methodology. What could happen, that is not possible in the agile, because every 2 weeks you are showing, right? This is what I have developed, see this is how your invoice printout will look like. If they are not okay, they will immediately tell you, no, I want logo to come here, you change it. You will say okay, fine, give me the next 2 week, I will correct it and then I will show you. right? So those kind of situation we overcome in the agile methodology. Okay, now in HANA we do it agile. If someone asks you in HANA which methodology we use for implement, you need to tell agile methodology. Okay, and if someone asks you what was the methodology being used earlier, they need to tell ASAP. Okay, apart okay, let's close this topic here only. Let's see what else we have.
Deepak, like there is a relation for Agile and Scrum.
Yeah, both are kind of same only. Okay, these all are, you don't bother about, don't put too much stress on all these. Okay, these all are implementation methodology. Okay, these all are discussed at one place only, and these all things will come when you are implementing something. So you don't bother this what is agile and how they work and all. This all things will be taken care by the project team, higher level kind of team only. Okay, higher level of team
Okay.
member will take care of all. But you need to know what is agile, what is ASAP, what is activate methodology. Okay, that's all you need to know. Okay,
So you told about the testing team, right?
right.
So there is a separate team in the SAP SD, or
Uh,
only the support and implementation guy should do.
See, it depends actually. See, some company what happens, there is a separate team for testing, okay. But in some company, a functional consultant only do the testing, okay. So it's depend on the business and how they have agreed, the business and the implementation team how they agreed. It's up to them. Because I have worked few companies or few projects where where there was a separate testing team, so they were testing. Okay, so they will have all the test script. Okay, create sales order, put material, see price coming properly, everything they will test. But as the
In
functional
one of the
skills,
project.
yeah, in one of the project, but in most of the project what I see, there is not a testing kind of team. We only test it because see, you are developing something, right? So you are the best person to know that system or to know that process, right? What document type, how it will come. The testing team is very, what do you call, very generic team. Okay, sometimes they will test some process in SAP SD. Someday they will test some PP. They will next day, I mean next maybe in the next project they will test some MM module things. Okay, so they don't have that much knowledge because they are working. They are given the script. Boss, go to VH01, put document type, put sales area, put customer. They know only this much. Okay, whatever script is given to them, they simply follow that one. That's it. And anywhere if they are stuck, they will eventually reach out to you only. Okay, boss, I am getting this error. So then you tell, okay, put this one, okay, maybe the customer master is not correct, okay, the material master is not correct, maintain this data first, then you try. Okay. But in some of the project I said testing team is there. In some cases, testing team is not there. Okay, it's not always that it will be there only. Okay, now all you can
Is
ignore
it
this.
possible to share the document?
Yeah, I'll share you that. This one, no problem.
Okay.
This is something. This is a flow of a support project actually. See, whenever let's say user encountered some issue, so they log a ticket to the ticketing tool. They could have several ticketing tool. Okay, like Jira, Panaya. Okay, and ADO or ServiceNow. There are different testing tools available. So what they do, they log ticket there. Then based on the severity of ticket, it is assigned to the level 1 or level 2 support team. Okay, level 1 will be handling the mostly the initial level of issues, and if they are not able to handle, they will pass on the ticket to level 2. So those are very generic stuff. Okay, so don't bother about, we will discuss anyway later all these things. Since it's discussed there, let's, I thought of telling you, ignore all those things. So now as I said, you see, when severity is there, let's say the high severity, right? So somehow you need to give the solution in 8 hours. There will be some response time. It should not be whenever any ticket is logged, right? You must have seen, like in, even if you in any other system also, when you log a ticket, someone will say, okay, we have acknowledged your ticket, we are working on this, right? So that we call it response time. So you give some information to user about, okay, I have assigned it, I am working on it. Now, since it is severity 1 ticket, severity 1 means the users or the business is affecting very much actually. So that solution you need to give it within 8 hours. Then 72, 73, 74, these all could be different business they have there. Generally, there are three severity actually, 1, 2, 3. One means it's a very high severity, high volume of business is getting impacted. That we call it severity 1. Then severity 2 to severity 3. Here, only one thing you need to remember. I mean, one of the important thing. There are two types of tickets. One is incident. One is request. Okay. What is incident and what is request? This is something which you will be being asked in your interview. So incident is something when you have developed something and it is not working as expected. Then user can say this is fault. This is something which is not working as expected. So that they will log in the service now or the ticketing tool as a ticket or as an incident. Now let's say user is saying, boss, I need this condition type, additional condition type to capture this cost. There is an additional cost we are implementing, we are business is proposing, and I want some condition type to capture that condition type. Can you please configure that? So now this is something which was not decided earlier, which was not discussed earlier. They are coming up with a new requirement now, right? So now they have to request us, boss, please do it. So those kind of changes, business will log as a service request because they are requesting us to create that one. Because I said that topic or that point was not discussed earlier, so that's why we have not configured it. Now you are requesting us, fine. You raise a ticket as a service request. We will work on that. Okay, just give me 1 second, guys.